Hello, class. In my Futures project, I will discuss the increasing influence of China in Pakistan. I hope to explain how China's Belt and Road Initiative stands to benefit from China's relationship with Pakistan and how China's investment in Pakistan's infrastructure will affect Pakistan's economy for the better. Pakistan was the first Muslim country to recognize the People's Republic of China back in 1950. 1 year later, they established formal diplomatic relations and have remained close strategic allies since. This relationship has remained strong for almost 70 years. China and Pakistan have supported each other through their more controversial incidents, such as Pakistan's anti-terrorism activities and continued pursuit of nuclear technology, and China's human rights and claims in the South China Sea. Despite this strong relationship with China, the United States has been Pakistan's primary patron, supporting over $70 billion in economic and military aid since 1947. However, the U.S. aid, as well as their influence, began to decrease around 2007, and China has stepped in to provide needed cash and investment, as well as military aid, without trying to influence or interfere in Pakistan's domestic affairs. In 2013, China introduced its Belt and Road Initiative, which is to become their new Silk Road trade routes connecting inland China with Western Europe, Southeast Asia, and Eastern African countries. China's overall goal is to boost global economic links to its western regions, which historically have been neglected. The largest project thus far for China has been the ongoing $68 billion China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC for short. 20% of the projects will be funded through loans from China, and 80% will be from investments through joint ventures between Pakistan and China. So how this works is China provides low-interest deferred loans to fund Pakistan's improvement projects. However, one of the stipulations for this agreement is the majority of contractors used to complete the projects are to be from Chinese-owned companies. This is somewhat understandable, as Pakistan has had a history of corruption within their government and past business projects. This is China's way of making sure the funds are used towards the designated projects and the projects are completed on time. The CPEC project had officially begun in 2016, and its first phase focused on removing bottlenecks to Pakistan's future economic growth. This focus included alleviating Pakistan's power supply issues through the building of power plants, as well as improving their transportation infrastructure through highway and rail development. These key projects needed to be completed prior to moving on to Phase 2. The first phase was deemed completed in early 2020, and now gives China's city of Kashgar, in its westernmost portion of China, access to Pakistan's seaport in Gwadar through both road and rail. Pakistan is expected to add 2.5% to their current GDP now that their supply of energy is in place. Pakistan's mostly forgotten territory of Balochistan is also expected to experience tremendous growth in their labor market for many of CPEC's infrastructure projects, such as planned economic zones and industrial parks, which will be implemented in Phase 2. The expected completion date is 2025. This improvement drastically cuts Western China's travel time and freight costs in delivering goods to the Middle East and Europe. Pakistan's eastern portion of the country has been its major development areas, so one of the benefits to Pakistan from these infrastructure improvements includes the ability to develop the western portion of Pakistan, which has been largely ignored and a main settling spot for terrorist factions. Many of Pakistan's young students have learned to speak Mandarin in order to become a more valuable commodity to China's companies in the future, which are expected to locate to Pakistan with their improved infrastructure. Balochistan's city of Gwadar is the heart of CPEC, and with the 6-lane highway in place, as well as a new international airport, construction continues to turn Gwadar into the largest full-scale deep-water commercial seaport in the world. China and Pakistan both believe this economic stability will also bring domestic stability to the region. One of the underlying questions of this relationship is Pakistan's ability to pay back the billions owed to China. The payments begin in 2030, but by this time, Pakistan is expected to be enjoying economic success. CPEC is expected to be fully complete and experiencing economic gains for both China and Pakistan by 2030. Pakistan's GDP growth rate is expected to increase to 7.5% by 2030, while adding 2 million jobs in the job market. The planned special economic zones will increase urbanization by 50 to 60%. It is expected that these special economic zones will do for Pakistan what China was able to achieve with their model cities. Pakistan's exports are also expected to increase with their improvements in transportation through land, air, and sea. Pakistan's improved infrastructure, along with their reliable energy source, will bring a boost in private investment. China's influence on Pakistan has thus far been positive for Pakistan's future. Despite their past differences, China has been able to rebuild their economic and diplomatic ties with India. As Pakistan's economy grows, China's continued influence with Pakistan may help bring needed stability to a troubled nation as well as to other parts of the surrounding area. I hope you enjoyed learning about China's increasing influence on Pakistan and what may lie in store for its future. Thank you.